Hey everyone, this is the Quarantine Check-In with your host Robert Frank, where I talk to comedians in quarantine. I have a very special guest today, the one and only Matt Keck, who I could say is the reason I am doing comedy today.
So I'm sorry, everyone.
Matt, I haven't seen you in like almost a little bit over 2 years.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Oh man, work, writing, the whole thing.
Yeah, same here. Are you back to doing comedy after your short hiatus, or I guess you're back on hiatus now?
I don't think anyone's doing comedy right now, right?
What are you talking about? I saw the Kansas City Comedy Club had a live show with no audience.
I was going to be part of that, but work stuff got in the way. But yeah, they did a few live show things. I don't think I'm pretty sure he can't do any more of them because of the lockdown, but it was a shot.
It was good seeing some people I haven't seen in a while perform on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so let me ask you, why did you start doing comedy?
Oh man, so I'm a narcissist. Which means that I had to get attention from as many people as possible. And I was in a band, but as I learned being in a band, you have to deal with like 4 other people and what they want. And I'm too much of a narcissist for that. So I had to figure out the thing where I didn't have to worry about any other people and I could just do what I wanted to do.
All right, hold on. How did I not know you were in a band?
Oh man, I've been in multiple bands. One of my bands that I was in, now that I'm not in it, and it's nothing like what it was when I was in it, they like tour the world. My brother-in-law's band like tours all over the world.
What are they called?
The Browning. It's heavy metal.
So you were in a metal band?
Yeah, but I rapped. But before that, I was in a punk band where I did screaming and punk singing and shit like that.
That makes a lot more sense than being a rapper in a metal band.
Hey, man. Not like Limp Bizkit, but kinda.
So you were influenced by Limp Bizkit.
I'm not going to say that I had never heard Limp Bizkit before. Clearly, I'd heard them, and sometimes you just have to break some stuff.
But when you heard Limp Bizkit, you're a smart guy.
Uh-huh.
You knew they were shit, right?
Well, I mean, listen, where the fuck you at, brother? Shut the fuck up and back the fuck up while we fuck this track up. He rhymed up 3 times in a row. Yeah, he's not the brightest guy in the world. That backward hat is a little too tight.
All right, Fred Durst, do not sue us for that.
Yeah, come on, Fred.
Do it. That way this could get noticed.
That'd be tight.
Yeah.
I get sued by Limp Bizkit.
So, do you remember the first joke you ever told?
Yeah, sorta. I don't remember it completely, but it was something about, because, all male stand-up comedians are super original. It was something about naming my penis, but I don't remember what the names were, because that's not an original joke concept, and everyone's made up names for their penis and the reason why. Ha ha ha. But originality hasn't always been my shtick either, so...
No, that's not true, because you have done one of my favorite bits of all time. Well, 2 of them. The I got cups for hands, which is so freaking stupid.
Cups for hands is gold.
And the way you don't read your own comments on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
The swear words with Pokemon characters.
Yeah.
That's a great joke. So... you kind of got a little famous for the "I'm a Snake" video.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've never talked about it before.
0 times.
How did it feel to become internet famous?
Now looking back on it, I just wish I had been smarter, more mature, and a better comedian when it had happened, because I wasn't super ready for the amount of spotlight that came from it. Had I been a better creative mind back then, I'm not saying I wasn't, but I wasn't refined so much. And so had I been able to put out quality stuff while there was more of a spotlight on it, that would have been pretty cool. That being said, things have sort of worked out in other ways, so no big deal.
You got a pretty good professional career out of that.
For sure.
So you kind of stepped away from comedy for a while. Why?
Because with the job working in advertising, that takes a lot of my creative juice anyway. It was just taking too much time. I knew that I live in Kansas City. It's not like if I go out and do more shows or do more things, suddenly I'm gonna like have an agent from some late night talk show be like, "Oh, I was in Grain Valley and I watched this guy perform for 5 guys at a rundown bar." Like that's not gonna happen. So I just figured I'd start having more fun and more experiences. And honestly, without having life experiences, it's hard to write good jokes anyways.
No,
so
that is 100% true. Like every time something happens to me, I'm like, how can I turn that into a joke?
100%. Or at least how can I make it like a good story so that when I'm at a party, people can be like, I like that guy. He's got a lot of stories.
That's true. That's true. But right now, no one is going to parties.
Hey, that's true. My new house is a little bit bigger, so I feel like there's a lot of places where people could stand 6 feet apart from each other. I'm not going to do that. I'm not actually going to do that.
Yeah, social distancing parties sound like the worst parties in the world.
I feel like this is a social distancing party. Like, that's what it is. We all just sit and look at our computers a little hunched over and sad.
Mostly sad.
Yes.
I think once it's all gone, I'm going to take a break from the internet for a while.
I think I've played my Nintendo Switch probably like 60 hours in the past week, and I think I'm okay not playing a video game again once I'm out of the house. While I'm in the house, I'm going to play a lot more of them. But
yeah, I can't even watch movies right now.
I've been watching movies. I'm trying to do the Marvel thing again. I know you hate Marvel movies, but I'm trying to do the whole thing, but we're watching them chronologically. Like to where the time happened in the movie. So like Captain America first and then forward.
So I like the Captain America movie. And the Black Widow movie looks fantastic.
I mean, great cast.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Hopefully they'll release it digitally.
I think they will. I mean, they got to.
I hope so. Yeah, I feel sad that I can't use my AMC.
I know, at least it's funny, they paused payments like the day after they charged my freaking card.
Same.
Like, oh, good. Thanks a lot for that.
I got one last use out of it. I went and saw The Hunt.
Nice.
It's actually really enjoyed.
It's you can rent it now too. They already put it on digital.
I can't pay $20 for a movie that I paid nothing for.
I know.
But it was weird at the movie theater. Like, no one would even sit near each other. Like, there was a couple. They were sitting 6 seats apart from each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think if you guys had it, you guys have it.
Right. And if one of you gets it, the other one also is going to have it. Yeah, I went and saw something like right before everything shut down, but I don't remember what it was now. Maybe it was Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know.
I was going to see either that, The Hunt, or Bloodshot. And I didn't want the movie to ruin my love of the comic character.
That's fair. Oh, good old Vin Diesel.
Playing the same character in every movie.
What do you mean? Riddick is a totally original character.
Actually, that's not true. In Saving Private Ryan, that was the most original character Vin Diesel ever played.
Yeah.
Followed by The Boiler Room.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to talking about comedy. So you produced probably one of the favorite shows I've ever been on.
Yeah.
For those of you who mostly my audience is in Michigan, explain what Lucha Raptor was.
Okay, so Lucha Raptor was 4 comedians originally. Myself, Brandon Murphy, who now lives in Los Angeles, and my good friend Jeremy Smith, and my buddy Paul Shields. And basically, we would get once we had a show once a month, and we would get like 2 guest comics to do stand-up during it, and then everything else was like a theme show, like a sketch variety show, but with an extra layer to it. So we would do improv, we'd do sketches, we'd do songs, we'd call audience members up and do games. But then we would always add twists to it. Like one month it was all of those things, but there was a murder mystery happening throughout the entire show, and like a lot of the sketches weaved in and out until people could figure out who committed the murder.
Wasn't that a choose your own adventure show?
We did do a choose your own adventure show, which I wrote like 64 varieties of different sketches or segments, and the audience chose which direction to go, and that decided what segment we were going to do. And it was crazy planning, but it was super fun. And then anything we didn't do, I just used on other shows.
I was on that show. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, that show was crazy.
I was also on the murder mystery show.
Yeah, those are 2 of the good ones.
Yeah.
We would do, just everything. It was very much literally anything could. I brought my mom on stage at a show, and I had the audience write questions for her to ask me, that's what it was, for her to ask me, and neither of us saw the questions before we got on stage, and it was amazing.
No, that was like the anniversary show, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
no, it definitely was, because someone said something, made her ask a question about a midget fisting somebody, and she asked me what fisting was on stage in front of like 50 people.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that was the show where someone wrote the review of it.
Yep. Absolutely. Afterwards, he wrote a review that said, "This show does nothing but promote homosexual relationships and fisting people jokes." And so the next month, we named our show Homosexual Relationships and Fisting People Jokes, because you know what? If there's 2 things that we do promote, that's 2 of them. That's 2 of the things we promote.
Oh man, I really missed that show. I mean, it was probably, first of all, it was probably a mistake for that being one of my first times doing comedy.
Yeah, that audience was pretty rabid, so they were good for anybody.
Yeah, and then 2 nights later, I went back to the open mic at the Arts Bar. And
I know. That lucha audience would spoil you.
Yeah, I wish I could bring them up here, but it was a good time. I think you, Paul, Jeremy, and Brandon probably ran the best show I've ever been on.
Well, that's awesome, and thank you for that. It was definitely a passion project for it was about 2.5 years, I think, that we did it, and I mean, yeah, it was one of the funnest things I've ever done, for sure. Consider doing it again at some point.
Well, if you do and I make it through this, I will be more than happy to once again appear on it, because I've always considered myself the unofficial 5th member.
You did actually do a lot of stuff for it. We put you in random sketches and stuff even when you weren't performing on it. So
yeah,
I actually, on my Google Home in my kitchen, it's one of the picture ones, and so it just cycles through all the old pictures in our Google Photos, and one of the ones where you were playing a Trump supporter on the dating game popped up, and it made me laugh. In your Ring of Honor t-shirt.
Oh man. Whatever happened to Ring of Honor?
Oh, wow. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a comeback with old Marty on the books.
Maybe, but shit, WrestleMania this year is being pre-taped.
I can't even watch WWE right now. They are not doing a very good job with this no audience thing.
No.
I feel like AEW has been pretty entertaining, though.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Matt Hardy finally back.
Did you see Jericho trying to recruit Vanguard 1 into the Inner Circle? Go Cole.
First name Van, last name Guard.
Second last name 1.
It was so ridiculous. I hope they get out. We were able to go back to wrestling shows. Actually, that was the last time I saw you. Not in person, but I think I saw you on AEW television.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, when they were in Kansas City. Someone patting old John Moxley on the shoulder. Doing the thing.
How did you get such great seats for that?
I just bought them.
Oh man, I think the last live wrestling show I went to was at Raw, where we were able to go in a limo because of work.
Yeah, I know, that was awesome.
That
was
was
like, hey, we're gonna send you. You can take 3 other people. Dope. Let's go.
that was the most redneck way to go to use a limo.
I know. Went and ate cheeseburgers and went to wrestling. Me, you, and Ant and Paul.
Yeah, that was a good time. All right, let's see what else. So where do you think comedy's going to go after the coronavirus is all over?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting, at least up front, because all of these comedians are itching to be back out there. So your open mics are going to be flooded, and they're probably going to be flooded with, unfortunately, super similar jokes because we're all experiencing the exact same things right now. So you're going to get Corona joke this, COVID joke that, Tiger King joke, and then, Tom Hanks joke. And I think it's going to be a rough time at the open mics, but I think, all the pros are probably writing some real good shit, and I think we're going to have probably years of very good comedy from this. I feel like this is going to be a good time for creative, just for creating anything, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we'll all just wallow away in existential dread.
That's a good name for a band, Existential Dread. Matt, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna wrap this up by I'm gonna wrap this up by reading you a Missed Connections ad I found on Craigslist. I've become an addict to.
Yeah.
Time. This one I took from Independence, Missouri, your hometown. The headline. So I'm gonna read it to you and then just crack a joke about it.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Wrong apartment door. I was helping my kid move over the weekend and opened the wrong apartment door. You were wearing a t-shirt. I died of embarrassment and apologized profusely. You laughed after the shock and explaining my error. We passed later outside and you told my kid you just moved here from Wichita. I can't get the image of your sexy body out of my mind. If I can ever help you with anything, please let me know. You totally made my weekend! !
Okay. There's a few things we need to know about this ad. One, in Independence, Missouri, the word apartment probably means trailer next to mine. 2, I'm not sure who gave my mom a Craigslist account, but she needs to stop it. Stop it.
I was going to say this is the beginning of every bad porn fan fiction.
Whatever's happening there, it's Independence, so it's really messed up.
Messed up.
Messed up.
Matt, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I hope to actually see you at some point this year.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe.
At some point.
Yeah.
If we both live through this. And if
we'll see.
At the open mic in heaven or hell.
And we'll get up to that open mic and we'll have our Corona joke, our COVID joke, our Tiger King joke. Close with the Hanks joke.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.